The emergency medical is a necessary thing. The health of the Makkah al-Mukarramah continuous preparations to receive the pilgrims. The circumambulators a renewable career since ancient times. Dear viewers everywhere, peace and Allah's blessings be upon you. Welcome with us in this new episode of your program, the Pilgrimage News Bulletin. On behalf of King Abdullah bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, may Allah bless him, His Crown Prince Amir Salman bin Abdul Aziz, the Crown Prince, the Deputy of the Cabinet, and the Minister of Defense conducted a yearly celebration for all the commanders and leaders of the Islamic League countries and the head of the campaigns. And he received the President of Abdullah Gul, the President of Turkey, and Mamnoon Hussein, the President of Pakistan, and President Omar al-Bashir of Sudan, and President Mohammed bin Abdul Aziz, President of Mauritania, and Manuel Manago, the President of Guinea, and His Excellency Dr. Abdullah Ansur, the Prime Minister of Jordan, and high officials in different Islamic countries. His Excellency, the Minister of Pilgrimage, Abdullah bin Habjar, he instructed to initiate a committee with other members of government to put a comprehensive strategy to serve the plan of the pilgrimage for the next coming 25 years, to host the increasing numbers of pilgrims and Umrah and facilitate their arrival and their staying in the kingdom with the frame of the integrational vision. The minister formed a team from different departments to put a scientific specification, and they appointed a supervision personnel to conduct the research and to complete the procedures financially and to executing it in the future. Pilgrimage is the biggest gathering in the world, where more than 1 million persons from across the world gather here in one spot and a certain time. The medical departments are getting ready to serve the pilgrims, but most of the times the medical intervention is the first stage of rescuing the pilgrims. The Iqraa camera visited the medical center and had this report for us. The pilgrimage is the biggest humanitarian gathering in the whole world, and to put all the measures pertaining the medical intervention to prevent epidemic diseases. The medical intervention had a lot of procedures to face any danger and to equip all the possibilities and abilities as far as medical to face these cases, whatever was the casualties were. And the preparation for the medical department to be on top of receiving the cases from ambulances, where the medical staff will be able to direct the case to the competent department. We receive casualties and some emergencies which need medical intervention, which less than critical cases. We have assigning department when the patient comes or by any method. We will go over the case, and the staff will decide what kind of case it is, if it's if it's dangerous, or does it require to have some certain medical attention, or if it's a minor case, we can send it or direct it to the nurseries. The emergency department has CPR room equipped with fully modern equipment. The CPR room, which considered this urgent intervention, where lives are being saved before the intensive care room is to be applied, and then it will transfer to the care unit, or maybe to the ICU or the heart department. And there is this department concerning the regular cases. We have about 25 beds to put the patients, men and female, and check them, and to check their medical records and give them the necessary cure. And then, or maybe he may be. This is a huge jump for this hospital of the bridge to receive the pilgrims and give them the medical attention completely, to help them to resume their performance. At the first day of pilgrimage, huge preparations and great efforts for the medical intervention at hospital of Mina Al Jisr. For the news bulletin, this is Muhammad Al Jaid from Mina. Dear viewers, we're gonna move to our reporter Wael Rafiq from Mina's Shrine to tell us about what's new about the pilgrimage. How are you, Wael? How are you, Abu Abdurrahman? Can you describe the pilgrims' situation at the day of Tarwiyah? This is the first day of Tashriq. The pilgrims, they performed the pebbles easily. And in fact, today I was there at the Jamarat shrine, and I shared with them this ritual, and the preparation and organizing is perfect. I'd like to thank the Ministry of Interior, resembling or presenting all their departments, and the unlimited organizing for the entry process. We went in there and we lived there easily and comfortably. We found a group of brothers at the Ministry of Health and the points inside the stoning area to give any medical services. And we had civil forces, the special emergency forces, and they have a big role in organizing the movement for the pilgrims, of the pilgrims. We thank his custodian of the two holy mosques for supporting this project, the project of Al Jamarat. I performed years ago the pilgrimage in 2004, 2005. There's a huge difference in the process of stoning. It is flowing. The pilgrims performed all the rituals with all rejoice and easily and comfortably. May Allah accept, Wael. Can you describe the situation of the pilgrims around you? Is there any laying down or any problems in general? Concerning laying down, there were efforts, and it's still there, conducted by the committee of the pilgrimage of Makkah al-Mukarramah, and we saw a big group of points around Makkah al-Mukarramah area, and Makkah al-Mukarramah area was surrounded by so many points to prevent the entry of those who are trying to trespass. we found out now we have the cameras taking pictures of the pilgrims who they are laying down, but unfortunately, they are not laying down. There are many points, sensitive points, which the Saudi authority are going to take some measures against them, like fake campaigns had caused a lot of problems. Some of the pilgrims from inside or from abroad paid money, amounts of money, and then when we came to the pilgrimage, they found that the services are incomplete, and they paid a lot of money to be among some certain groups or certain category, but the services are not like the one where we're promoted. So those fake campaigns, the Ministry of Pilgrimage put some measures and put some official website for the pilgrims they don't know, they don't know about, and some of the nature of the pilgrims, the African. I have pilgrims from Pakistan. This is the nature of their life, daily life, but their nature of their life, they would like to stay away from camps. They would like to stay in this form. But this is an uncivilized maybe conduct, but it may prevent providing service. But we may ask Allah Almighty to eliminate this phenomena significantly in next coming years. Our reporter Rafiq, thank you from Mina for these valuable information. We may ask Allah to facilitate rituals for the pilgrims. Dear viewers, the Ministry of Health implored the pilgrims to stay away from the sun rays by using umbrellas so they can avoid skin burnings on skins, and they advise them not to walk barefoot, where may cause pilgrims difficulties in walking, ensuring the personal hygiene, and use the health substance so they can prevent them from bacteria, and they advise them to use proper shoes and to clean their toes to avoid any kind of bacteria infection in their toes. The Saudi Postal Services continues to provide services through its offices in Makkah al-Mukarramah, Medina al-Munawwara, and the holy sites. The first week of pilgrimage witnessed a motion of the pilgrims of sending their mail in very affordable prices, and to help those pilgrims in those first days, especially those Pakistani and Moroccan and Iraqi and the European pilgrims. The establishment were keen to facilitate this by deploying some certain points to accept and receive those packages, with the coordination with the campaign of the pilgrimage. We have a lot in this coming report. The Kingdom Postal Service keen to provide the postal services to the pilgrims and to serve them from locals and residents. The establishment completed its readiness in Medina Munawwara and the holy capital through offices that is working around the clock. At the entry points of the kingdom, and they have a diversity services, and using smartphones, and also sending greeting cards as well. And the kingdom, the Saudi Postal Service is providing those pilgrims to help those different kind of services as well. And all the branches in Makkah al-Mukarramah and Medina al-Munawwara, they have manpower to help those, to ensure the delivery of those packages and their mails. You can be able to buy bonds for the sacrifice through those offices as well, who are deployed across the kingdom. The Postal Service is honored in Mecca al-Mukarramah to serve the pilgrims and the visitors of the Prophet's Mosque by shipping packages and selling the sacrifice bonds through points in the central area where starting the work from the year 1432, and this year we will work on having 5 moving points using vehicles in the central area, which packages are going to be shipped, and to distribute brochures of marketing. We reached close numbers to last year's numbers, communication and the reports coming to the hotels. The numbers are vast by Allah's grace, and what we shipped is about more than 2,000 packages. Last year we shipped more than 8,500 packages, and now we are looking forward to send more packages. The readiness of the Postal Service this year implored to provide unique services to pilgrims, to their hosting areas and their gathering points, to fulfill their request through the marketing methods. This is Abir from Madinah Munawwara for the Pilgrimage News Bulletin. Dear viewers, I will leave you with this short break and we will continue the rest of our articles. So stay with us. Welcome back, dear viewers. The phenomena of the roadsiders, it's continuous phenomena, despite the focus of the governmental department during the pilgrimage season to eliminate this phenomena, where its activities increased during this time every year in the holy sites. A lot in this coming report. The roadsiders wait patiently the pilgrimage season, where the roadsiders carts increased, which hold a lot of merchandise in the pilgrimage. This guy depends on selling tea and some of items like umbrellas and some flip-flops. The daily income is more than 500 riyals. I sell, pilgrims' items. Do you see a demand from the pilgrims? Yeah, yes, we do, but not like they used to be. They say that the selling is better than this, but it's average. Thank be to Allah. But we take care of people's needs and we try to accommodate them and to be fair with them. The phenomena of the roadsiders continues and an increase, waiting for those who need to regulate them and to be supervised healthily. For the news bulletin, this is Muhammad Al-Jaid from Mina. The head of the Zamazima office clarified, Sulaiman, that the Zamzam liters distributed for this year reached up to 20 million liters, where the containers of 1.5 liters are needed to be distributed among the hospitals and campaigns and other occasions, and the governmental bodies reached up to 120,000 containers. And he said that more than 1,200 of those Zamazima who are working on this Zamazima in the holy city, they are supported by 130 vehicles to execute the operational plan to provide the service until the 15th of next month. The Saudi Association advised the pilgrims to avoid sunrise and to check with the centers and the public relation specialist. And Dr. Basim Abdulaziz said that the first problems is to expose the eyes to the some diseases because of the exposure to dust and sun rays. The Ministry of Health in the holy site with the whole staff before the pilgrimage season, who for those pilgrims who want to go to Taiba, this report shed the light on those preparations. Let's follow it. Within the frame of the medical services provided to the pilgrims of holy sites, the Ministry of Health had deployed field teams to deal with the cases on the spot, where the ministry assigned 10 million riyals for the technical equipment and as an execution for the plans for the holy city of Makkah al-Mukarramah and Medina Munawwara. The center is one of the main centers in the holy site area, serve a lot of numbers of pilgrims and mu'tamirin, and work around the day, around the clock, and receive a decent number of pilgrims and mu'tamirin of a daily average of 6,000. We provide here as a first line for all cases that need a medical attention. This center is considered among the medical good centers that provide all the health services to the pilgrims, with the emergency room, which is very developed, very advanced, especially when the pilgrims are going to activities. And the Ministry of Health prepared those hospitals and medical centers along with equipped more than 131 centers, 12 of them in Medina Munawwara, in addition to deploy the different numbers of medical staff, ensuring the safety and the health of those pilgrims and how to deal with them. This training is for the preparations for the pilgrimage. We trained those staff on how to attend here and how to deal with the dangerous cases and how to use the CPR room. The continuity of the Ministry of Health on follow and control the health situation and taking all the measures at all entry points, air, land, and sea, give an impression that this year will promise with very dangerous cases. This is Abir from Medina Munawwara for the news bulletin. The General Commander organized at the holy sites, which is held by the Boy Scout Association Boy Scout. They held a celebration in Al Aziziyah with the attendance of the supervisor Abdullah Al Fahad and his assistants, and the member of the General Commander, General Leadership, and he clarified, Ja'far Jawhar, that the celebration aimed to increase the ties of among the workers where they come, and they exchange their greetings, where to enhance their performances. Now, dear viewers, we're going to leave you with a short break, and we will come back to resume the rest of the articles of our program.
Welcome back, our viewers. We move directly to the USA and in New York State to have Sheikh Muhammad Al-Ajami, his Islamic Sheikh in America. Welcome, Sheikh Muhammad. Hello. Hello, my brother Osama. You know, in these blessed days, the Hajj season, and there are a big number of Muslims in America. They come to the Mecca in order to perform pilgrimage. How the American pilgrim is prepared for performing pilgrimage, and what are the efforts you make to teach them the rituals of pilgrimage? In the name of Allah, praise be to Allah, and blessings and peace of Allah on our Prophet. Greetings to all viewers of Iqraa in the Arab and Islamic world. I congratulate them for Adha Eid, and those who are working in Iqraa channel on their capacities and high quality of technology, and this channel is indispensable in this country, and all Muslims need it, as it transmits everything in the Islamic countries and the occasions as if we were there. And as our role as imams, and my role in particular, by the grace of Allah, I work here since 1994 in Islamic work, and I performed pilgrimage to about 13 times, and by the grace of God, and we used to take groups of pilgrims with the help of other sheikhs and the imams. They have high Islamic culture and education, professors at universities, holders of MA, and graduates from Islamic universities, and we raise awareness in mosques and Islamic centers starting after Ramadan immediately. And the imams give sermons and lessons in the Islamic centers and mosques. And before going to the pilgrimage season, we organize some of the special seminars and lessons for more than imam, to raise awareness of pilgrims in each year with the help of many of the imams. And I used to bring with me the ihram garments and teach them how to use it, and bring the projector and computer, and we teach them the rituals and the location of Mecca, the black stone, where to start, where to end, Safa and Marwa, where shall we begin and where shall we end, and to drink from Zamzam and stand at Arafat moment by moment. And we, if there is any missing for any pilgrim, we will be sure that he will perform pilgrimage without any mistakes. And the pilgrims, after the lectures, and we on daily basis give them lectures with the pilgrims, with whom we go out with the projector, and even other pilgrims from those whom we see them from the Arab and Islamic countries, and teach them the rituals. Sheikh Muhammad, I'd like to talk about your activities in the Islamic community in relation to keeping the Holy Quran, building mosque, and how is the cooperation of agencies with you and the Muslims and non-Muslims with you in this respect? By the grace of Allah, since 1994, I came from Azhar University in a mission from Azhar, and I stayed here and bought 4 Islamic centers There were churches, and there is a great demand from people, and used to go with us, carrying the wine bottles and cups from the churches. And by the grace of God, we changed them to Islamic centers and mosques in New York, New Jersey, Texas, California, and other states in America. And thanks to God, there is a big response and there is coordination among the Islamic centers. And by the grace of God, it helped us transformation in the raising of awareness, especially in New York and New Jersey. There is a jump in the existence of Islamic centers and mosques, which helped in having big Islamic community. And thanks to God, we have youth who were born in America. They are now speaking in English and give speeches in English, and they have activities in American universities and American schools. All that by the grace of God and the efforts of the sincere du'at in all these states, and the keeping of Quran. As I believe in the best of you is who teaches Quran and learn it. And I dedicate myself to teach children from 5 to 16 years of age. And I have a program for keeping the Quran in New Jersey in Dar al-Arqam, Islamic Dar al-Arqam. We have 350 children who keep the whole Quran, and they completed it during summer time, and we are moving towards another aspect to give license for those who completed keeping the Holy Quran, in order to enable Islam with the children who keep the Quran. And then the imams teach the children how to call for God, and they teach them to how to deliver speeches and sermons in schools and universities. May God bless your efforts. Is there certain statistics of the number of pilgrims who came in the pilgrimage season of this year? I didn't go this year, and I don't have a total census or complete census, but there is a big facilitation in the USA, and I noted personally, and many noted it. It is better than Arab and Islamic countries. I personally tried to get out in 92 from Egypt. I couldn't do that because it is by lot in Egypt, and there are delays, and it is controlled by many of the parliament members and others. And I performed Hajj 13 times from America. In comparison between those who perform pilgrimage from Egypt and from the USA, there is a big difference. Yes, there is a big difference. And there is exaggeration in Egypt, for example, and I am from Egypt. About 50,000, the least program who can perform pilgrimage within this number. May God bless you, Sheikh Muhammad al-Islam, Islamic Daya from America, and he talked to us from New York State about his activity and the activity of Islamic community in the pilgrims who are coming from the USA. Thank you. the general presidency of the two holy mosques, this and its yards with guiding screens display guides in several languages which suit many of the pilgrims, and the operation management of the affairs of the two holy shrines in following up everything new, and the service system to provide distinguished service to those who are visiting Al-Masjid Al-Haram under the guidance of all responsible in order to provide the best quality services. And in this news items, we have completed of our program for today. Thank you for following us. Meet you hopefully tomorrow in the last episode of the News of Pilgrimage, and thank you.